Good morning. Today is Sunday, February. I keep saying February. I so would love February to be. Anyway, we are well past February. Okay. Never mind what I want. It is March 8th, and we're using the giant Rider Waite Tarot deck, which I haven't used in a really super long time. Like, I pretty much remember maybe using this in Texas. Huh. Alone and in the midst of men, alone mid hills and valleys fair, alone upon a ship at sea, alone, alone, and everywhere. Oh, many folks I see and know, so kind they are, I scarce can tell. But now alone on land and sea, in spite of all, I'm left to dwell. In cities large and country lane around the world, 'tis all the same, across the sea from shore to shore, alone, alone forevermore. This is a poem written by Pamela Coleman Smith, who she created the 78 tarot paintings that are the paintings that are on the deck. And anyway, this caught my eye as interesting. We come into this world alone and we leave alone. And if we can't figure out how to be alone and be good with who we are and still make our lives beautiful, that's what came up at the bottom of the deck. So, but the sun, yeah, if we can't make our lives beautiful, I'm not even pulling cards and I'm riffing off spirit. The cards are whatever the planetary alignments are, and I know that the moon is in Sagittarius today. The moon is that one that we kind of connect with most because it's our emotional life, and it moves the fastest out of all of the bodies that affect us. So, that's what came up at the bottom of the deck, and what kind of came up for me as I worked through the day and kind of observed how those cards played out, like, the reflection. That 10 of Pentacles in that particular deck we were using yesterday was not the typical 10 of Pentacles deck. 10 of Pentacles. Normally a 10 of Pentacles has like a wealthy couple or a wealthy family. A very content family at minimum. This only had a treasure chest and a little mouse. And it is in the small things that we do for ourselves where we find the worth, where we show up for ourselves by doing the things that we do, that we love to do, that make beauty in our lives, that make our lives the sun every single day, no matter whether the sun is shining, whether it's a gray day, no matter what is happening. At the end of the day, it is a mindset. Are we worth it enough to show up for ourselves, to just maybe brush our teeth and wash our face and then figure out the next worthwhile thing to do in the small things? Because that's what it's all about. If we can't do that for ourselves, if we expect other people to do them for us, it doesn't matter whether you're in a city or whether you're at a party, you're still going to feel alone because you don't feel fulfilled, and we keep expecting other people. And guess what? They're going to disappoint you because they're other people and they're living their own lives, and they should. We should be allowed to live our own lives. We aren't here to live for one another. We are here to be with one another, to bring value to one another, to do our most to engage and enjoy one another, to be in the sun. But we're not here to live for one another. We're not. Giving our lives over to something other than who we are, giving our worth over, is always going to end badly. The other person there, the other part of the situation is going to resent you because you're never doing it right. Because you're your own person. Ooh. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh no. The moon card came up. I thought it was the sun. So the moon. The reflection, if what is going on in what you see isn't great, guaranteed it's your emotional state. It's your own emotional state. I read a really interesting, and I'll try to repost it, um, quote attributed to the Buddha yesterday, and it said, "I am not what you think I am. You are who you think I am." Chew on that one for a while. What you see reflected around you, what we see. I'm not excluding myself here, by the way. When I'm in a knot about something, if I don't like something, if I'm discontented about something, that's coming from me. That's not. And I've watched it. When I shift my energy, when I shift my attitude, when I shift my mindset, when I go into a place of gratitude, I start looking at, then everything all of a sudden becomes very different. The air feels different. I get, nice people coming toward me, not, people like, either that or maybe that's what you notice. That's what you attract. The moon reflects the light of the sun. The sun is our soul. The sun is our soul. So if what's going on in your soul, if your soul is not loving it, if your soul wants to pick up and go somewhere else, like that Six of Swords, like if you're feeling that, remember, she was going in the light of the moon. She was going by her emotions. She was taking her thoughts with her. But then we also had that Two of Swords, which also invited Two of Swords reverse, which is like, you know what? I feel like I need to sit with this for a little while. I can't really make a good decision. Go in, High Priestess, and then going into the small things. Do the small things and then from those small things that you do, come from that place of gratitude. Realize what is worth it and what's not. And those and generally, it's our own thought processes that aren't really worth it. Like, this isn't even worth me spending time thinking about. I was talking a little bit about, I hit a little bit on Saturn moving into the sign of Aries now, where he'll be for like 2.5 years or so. 2.5 to 3 years. Aries is a fast moving sign, so it'd probably be more like a 2.5 year transit. So yeah, Four of Swords, meditation. Slowing things down. Saturn is going to ask us to slow things down, like to slow down and consider our actions, to be a little more structured with our actions. But the only way that we can do that, right, is if we go into these moments of consideration. This person is not dead. They're in a meditative pose. They would never be able to hold their hands up like that unless there was some kind of binding on them, and there isn't. In the background is the stained glass, which would definitely depict some kind of spiritual. Getting into spiritual source is the foundation. The fours are always where you belong, like the structure of where you belong. Saturn is the former ruler of Aquarius. It's Uranus now, since Uranus was discovered back in the early 1900s, I think. But it's structure around, Saturn is structure around our actions, and the only way that we're going to come toward it in a structured way is to sit in meditation, to sit and meditate and consider why we do the things we do. Consider the thought processes like that drive the things that we do. I was having a conversation with somebody else about how all the air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, are dual signs. You've got to involve the heart and the head. It can't just be a mind thing. The mind ends up making the decisions, but if we involve the heart and the head and we take the time to look at what's reflected and then take some time out and consider things, then maybe our decisions and our actions become more in alignment for in alignment with where we really want to go, the life that we really want, how we want to be conducting ourselves in our lives. Saturn is also conduct. Are you conducting yourself? Watch the thoughts. They're probably, and watch your intentions, to determine your intentions, to get better in alignment with our intentions. When you say something, what's the intention behind it? It may be polite, but what's the feeling behind it? That's combining heart and head. Like, oh, actually, that isn't my heart speak. And if you can feel that, that's okay. Just noticing that oh, that's not coming from the best place. I'm going to make this overture towards something. This crayfish, like, trying to come out. Like, yeah, look at this crayfish trying to come out and, like, take the, get these dogs' attention. I'm trying to show you something here in your emotional depths. Oh, I really want to reach out to this person, but we don't have a great relationship, or I really need to talk to my boss at work, but things don't go really well between us, but I'm going to at least try. And I know that I'm nervous and I'm anxious, but at least I know I'm nervous and I'm anxious. That doesn't mean you shouldn't go talk, right? We have another card coming out. I haven't used this deck for a long time. So I've noticed that there's 3 swords above this individual and then 1 underneath. So again, what's the foundation of the thoughts that, in this, and I am seeing that this person is in kind of a deathly repose. Maybe some of the thought processes need to die, which we've been talking about for a while. The way we look at things. It's not only your viewpoint, so pulling in something that's higher and wiser than you, going into the higher, wiser self, letting that have a voice. 7 of Swords. Yeah. This is theft, or this is, taking the 5 swords, your belief systems, and looking back at 2. So I keep thinking about the 2s that kept coming up in yesterday's reading. And in that, the 2s are, 2 is the number of Cancer. And it's also the number of emotion. It's looking back, like, I don't have all the information. So you shouldn't be running away with, 5 is thoughts. Is being mindful. But maybe you're too full. Like, I just see a lot of swords here. It's 2 in your head. We're 2 in our heads. We have to include, this is also a 7. Which is the number of spirit. We have to include that information from the emotional field, include those in our meditation, instead of using our daily meditation as a way to just validate your own thought system. That's what's coming up right now. To just continue to validate and just ruminate. Nobody ruminates. No, I learned it from an old yoga teacher. I loved it, what she said. We rarely ruminate on anything positive. We never ruminate on, like, oh, how great I look in my jeans. Wow, I look great. What if it works? We usually sit and ruminate on how much it's not going to work. So we fly, we take off. We don't include our feelings, that number 2. We don't include that higher, we forget to include and ask for that higher wisdom. Ask for the higher wisdom, because it's faulty thinking constantly that's keeping us running away from the things that we love. He's actually running away from the circus. He's running away from the far time. He's going into an isolated kind of situation. That's not cool. How can we include the voices of other things without feeling like we have to run away? It's only through meditation. This is through sitting, taking the time every day, doing the small thing, the 30 minutes. 30 minutes. We really not have 30 minutes? The 40 minutes, if you can. 5 minutes. Start with 5. Start with 4 minutes. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah, bottom of the deck, Knight of Pentacles. So bringing in the action. Here's our guy again. And when we do this, it is a slow go. Take the time to practice because you'll start to see material results. And then strength. That infinity sign above her head, the 8 card, takes discipline. Saturn's discipline. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I appreciate you. If you want to share this to somebody who you think needs it, like, share, subscribe. If you want your own video or own reading, just direct message me on any of the platforms, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. All right. It's been great being here. I love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Wonderful week. Take this one into the week.